Okay, so welcome everyone. This is a new live tech talk presented to you by the Huawei Enterprise Support Community. Today's host is Kashif Ali. He is one of maybe our top webinar hosts in the support community. Thank you, Kashif, for once again accepting this role of webinar host. I know it's a difficult one. I know it takes a lot of time for preparation, but I'm sure that everyone appreciates you sharing your time, knowledge, and experience with other members of the community. Kashif is also an elite user in the support community. He has multiple elite user roles. I'm sure that some of you already know him. He has an impressive experience. He'll share more about that later. And before we start the actual presentation, I just want you to know that this webinar is prepared by the Huawei Enterprise Support Community, which is the official technical community for all Huawei Enterprise products, solutions, and certifications. We have already a massive knowledge base that you can use to learn from. We have dedicated technical collections on different Huawei related topics. We have webinars like this one today, different activities that you can participate in to win rewards. This Elite Users Program, which is created for anyone who wants to have a more significant role in the community. So if you want to have access to some exclusive benefits and also make a difference, stand out, and be recognized as an expert in your field, you can join the Elite Users program. And we hope that you will use the community to ask for technical support. We have dedicated moderators who will provide a solution within 24 hours. Use it also as a learning environment where you have access to a unique content that you will not be able to find anywhere else because the content is created by Huawei experts. And also, why not join different activities, interact with other ICT enthusiasts, and participate in activities to win rewards and exchange your high coins for the items in the online shop. If you have any other questions about the community, you can contact me in private. And also, if you don't already have an account in the community, I highly recommend you to create an account now, because if you want to participate in the activities that we have prepared later today, you need to have an account. So make sure that you register. If you already have an account, just make sure that you log in. And that's it. Now, Kashif, I will let you start the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Alina. So I think everyone knows me very well, but my name is Kashif. I'm working as a solution architect in Texas, Pakistan. And I have the role of pre-sales and service delivery as well. And I have some certification as well, like HCIE. I have 2 HCIE certification. One is cloud, and the second one is storage. I was the winner of Huawei Tiger 2021 as well. And recently I have won the Huawei pre-sales storage competition in 2023. And as you know, I have a YouTube channel as well. So you guys can go and watch my videos recording as well. So I'm sharing my knowledge, and there are some recording about the different event as well. So what will you learn in this webinar? So today we are going to learn about the iMaster installation on cluster nodes. So my previous webinar was about the single node installation. So it is also available. You can go and check. The recording is available, so you can see how we can install single node. But this webinar is about the cluster installation. So we'll be preparing 3 VMs, and we'll be installing iMaster NCE campus on 3 nodes cluster. So we'll be using SUSE Linux operating system, and the platform will be VMware. And then we will be installing iMaster. and then we will be verifying the installation. So we will have lab as well. So once the theoretical presentation is ended, so this session is about the lab. So you can learn, you will have the experience of lab. So I will focus on the lab. So then we will have live question as well, live question and answers. If you have any questions, I will try my best to answer your questions. And at the end, we will have 3 questions. Alina will be posting it on the forum, so you guys can answer these questions and you can get rewards. So to find the software, it is a bit tricky, but not that difficult. It is very easy. You can go to the support.huawei.com, select network management control and analysis, and then select iMaster NCE campus. Once you select this, so you will see this page. So from here you can download the documentation as well, how to install it. All the documentation is available here, and then you can click on the software download tab. So you will see all the versions are available here. So if you want to install it on the production machine, so you need to download it from the official version tab. If you want to do some testing, so you can download it from the non-official version as well. But for this downloading, you need permission from Huawei representative. Once you click on the download, so it will redirect to you to the authorized portal. You can put your contract number and whatever information is required. So you can send a request to the Huawei representative. They will approve your request, and then you can download the software. So it's not that difficult. It's very easy. Okay, the main problem is how you can identify that which version you required for which server you need. For example, you have physical server, so you have to select the physical server here, and then accordingly it will give you the packages. If you want to install it on the VM, then you have to define the operating system, the servers. For example, if you have x86 server, so then you have to download the SUSE Linux. There are 2 different flavors of the operating system. Huawei also provide the operating system. So if it is better to download the Huawei provided OS, it is already included all the packages. You just need to install it. It will automatically install all the prereqs and all the required packages. So you don't need to install it by yourself manually. So I would like to recommend you that you just need to download the Huawei provided operating system. You can install it on your own SUSE Linux, but it will be a little tricky to install the iMaster. You need to download the packages and prerequisite, all the things you need to download. So what are the requirements for VM? So we will be following, we are following this 3 VM requirements. So our single VM will be 32 into 2.2 gigahertz. You need 32 vCPUs, 128 GB RAM per node, and you need 2 virtual disks. The boot disk must be 800 GB, and the second one must be 1200 GB. And we need at least 2 NIC. So you can use virtual NIC in your VM. So these are the requirements. So you need at least 3 VMs with this configuration. So if you have a server which have a lot of CPUs and memory, you need a heavy server which have a lot of memory and CPUs, then you can test this environment. What are the steps to create VM? It's all of, we all knows how to create VM in VMware. So it is very simple. You just need to create the iMaster node 1, for example. This is the first node. Then you have to select the Linux tab and the SUSE Linux Enterprise 12, 64-bit. You have to select this. And then we have to select the CPU. I will select 40 vCPU and 128 GB RAM. If you want to install it for LAN only, you need 128. If you want to use it for LAN and WAN, then you need more memory. So according to your requirements, you can select the memory. And the first disk will be, I'm using 960 GB, 800 is required, so I'm using 960. And the second one will be 1200 GB. And we need 2 network adapters, so I'm adding 2 virtual NICs. After creating the VMs, I will use the media, which one Huawei Huawei have provided you the image. You can attach that image to this VM and boot it from that image. You have to select install by YAS2. So when you select YAS2, it will automatically install all the packages. You don't need to do anything. You have to just wait after completing the installation. Once the installation is completed, so you will see this screen. So you can log in using the default password, admin1_123. This password is available in the documentation. So you can go to the documentation to the support portal. And according to your version, you can download the guide. In that guide, you can find these passwords. So once you logged in, so we need to set up the IP addresses. So this is the scripts. Huawei has provided the script. You can easily set up the IP, VM IP, subnet, gateway, and host name. It is very easy to set up. You don't need to do to use different commands. Just use this script. It will automatically ask the questions. You can answer all the questions. So we will see it in the lab. It is very easy. We will be assigning two IP addresses for ATH0 and ATH1. So we are using two Ethernet interfaces. It is according to the your requirement. You can use different, maybe you can use 4 interfaces card as well. It depends on the customer network requirement. Okay, okay, we have to do this configuration on 3 VMs. We have to install 3 VMs, and then we have to assign IPs to all 3 VMs because we are deploying a cluster, iMaster cluster on 3 nodes. So we will need 3 VMs to be configured. So first we have to install 3 VMs. We have to set up the IPs for all the 3 VMs. All the 3 VMs will be ready. Then after that, you have downloaded the media. So in media, there's a SUSE installation media. You have to extract it in your PC. Your PC will be connected to the network where the VMware environment is running. So after extracting the iMaster NCE easy suite, this is the directory hierarchy. You will see this. You have to copy ESS_solution.zip from the media directory to this folder. As you can see, we have copied here. Then we have to click start.batch. It will automatically open the easy suite window in a browser. So from browser, you can log in, and then you will see this window. After logging, you have to select installation. We are doing new installation. After installation, you will see this. So you have to select iMaster NCE campus, the version, which version you want to install, product only, and 15K to 200K. So this will be using the cluster scenario. Last time we used single VM, but this time we'll be using cluster scenario. So it will ask about the operating system. There are 2 options. So we can support SUSE and Euler, the 2 operating system are supported. So we can use, we have to select SUSE because the media we have is SUSE Linux on-prem, and you have to change the language to English. The default is Chinese. And then we have to select the cluster. Minimum cluster is 3 node, and there's the option for LAN and WAN. So we will use LAN only because our memory is 128 GB. After selection of this, all these, then it will ask about the software packages. So there's a load button. You can click on this load button, and you will show the media folder. And you just click the load button. It will automatically load all the required data from your downloaded media. After that, it will ask about the nodes information. So as we already installed 3 nodes, we know the IP addresses of each node. So we have to provide IP addresses of each node. So here you have to put all the 3 IPs of the nodes and the root password, root username and the root password. And the Ethernet will be automatically selected. So I'll show it to you. You have to provide the load balancing virtual IPs as well. It is required for load balancing and failover. So I will show it to you in the lab. Okay, once we put all the configuration, there are some username, there will be some password tab as well. You have to provide password for all the roles. So we will see in the lab that that tab will be available in lab. I will show it to you. After all the configuration, we have to do a pre-check. Actually, this pre-check will check all your configuration, your hardware requirement, network requirement, packages, everything will be checked properly, that everything is okay and your system is ready to install. So once this is passed, the last step is to install it. You have to just click the install. Installation process will be started and it will be completed. Once the installation process is started, it will take maybe 2 or 3 hours depending on your environment. So once the installation is completed, so then we can go to the management portal, and then we can see if the installation is properly done, all the nodes are okay, there's no issue, all the services are running. This is the management portal, and this is the web portal for the configuration for the tenants for the devices. From this portal, you can add tenants, users, devices, all the things can be configured from here. So let's go to other lab. Let me see if there are any question. Is there a minimum HCIE version in the iMaster NCE conversion? You can use any ESXi version because we are doing SUSE installation, so it's not an issue. Half engineer, I think there is a question. Okay, I will answer only the relevant questions. These are not the relevant questions, so I will not answer. Okay. Let's go towards the lab. So I have one ESXi server, and I will create VMs. Okay, I will create first VM. We are not going to create all 3 VMs. 2 VMs are already created. I will create 1 VM and then we will start the installation. So this is the first VM, for example, just iMaster node 1. The operating system is Linux. Our operating system is SUSE Enterprise 12, 64-bit. Select this. I have to select the data store. Okay, I will assign 40 CPU, 128 GB RAM. I need to reserve this. I will reserve the memory. Actually, this is a trick. If you are not going to reserve this memory, so it will create a swap file. So if your data store doesn't have enough space, so you will be out of space. So if you have more memory, so you can reserve it. No issue to save space. If you have space, then no issue. You don't need to reserve it. For disk, I'll be using, for example, 920. I'll use 920 GB, but I have the space issues, so I'll be using thin provisioning. I don't have much space, so I'll be using the thin provisioning. Okay, I need one more disk. I have to add one more disk. This will be 1200 GB. So I have to change it. I want to change the data store as well because I don't have space in this data store. I'll change it. I need to use thin provisioning. There's only one network interface. I'll add another one. Okay, and I want to mount a map image of SUSE Linux. Create the virtual machine. The virtual machine is created. Let's power on it. So we'll be using install by YAS2. It will automatically install all the packages, so we don't need to worry about it. So as we can see, it will automatically install everything. If you're using your own SUSE Linux, so you have to do it step by step, and then you have to add a lot of packages. You have to follow the installation guide. In installation guide, there are a lot of steps you have to follow to install it on your own SUSE Linux. But if you are using image which is downloaded from Huawei, it will automatically install everything. You don't need to worry about it. So while installation is going on, let me see if there's any question. There's a question from Sayyid Ali. Can you give the setup in CE? You can download it. You have to request to the Huawei. Actually, it is not allowed for us to give the setup file. So you can request for the test version. There is a non-official version. They will approve your request. No issue. There are some irrelevant questions, so I'm not going to answer it. There's questions. You have set 40 VCP. You don't have set how many core per CPU, so it will not. You can. It depends on your server. If you have more cores available per CPU, so you can set it. No issue for better performance. Good suggestion. But this is a test I'm doing in test environment, so it doesn't matter. If you're doing it in production, so you have to keep these things in your mind that you can use different core from different CPUs. Are there any specific? Okay, there's a question. Are there any specific networking configuration during the installation of VMware on iMaster NCE? Network depends on you or the customer, which networking type they want, because we have different type of plans, single plan, dual plan, different plan being used. It depends on the customer requirement. I'm using only 2 NAC right now, so I'll be using 2 subnets, and I will show it to you in the configuration. So once we are doing the deployment, there are a lot of IPs. I will show you how we can use it. There's a question from Tayyip. Is there any impact if we select reserved memory? Any performance issue? If you select, if you reserve the memory, so you cannot use this memory with the VMware cannot share this memory with other VM. So your memory, the memory will be reserved from your total memory. So you cannot share it with the other VMs. That is the drawback. Otherwise, there is no issue. Okay. There's one more question. Is there any Huawei VM template already with OS plus iMaster installed and pre-configured that can be imported? No, there's no template available, but installation is very easy. Actually, the problem is the specification. You need a high spec server. If you have one server with good specs, so you can create only single VM. I have my last webinar was on single VM, so you can use a single VM as well for iMaster. You just create a single VM and install it. It's not an issue, but the template is not there. You have to install it. There's a question from Dr. Doom. what will happen if we use different data store for swap file? Nothing. It's up to you. It's your management. If there is an issue, the space issue, let me answer it. To delete some VMs, I think. So give me a minute. I have some space issue. Let me delete one VM, a lot of VMs. Okay, installation will resume. The main issue is the space and the resources. As now you can see that I have to delete one VM to continue because there are a lot of VMs running. Okay, let's go towards the questions. Meanwhile, the installation is completed. Okay. After installation, there is a demo license, so you can test some of the feature, but you can ask for demo license from the Huawei guys. If your local channel team can provide you the license, so you can do that. So I think I have also answered all the relevant questions. If there are any question I can answer while the installation is running. Okay, let me show you some. So this is the Huawei support portal. If you want to download the software, so you have to select, go to support.huawei.com and then go to the network management control. From here, you can see the iMaster NCE campus. And from here, you can download any documentation. All the documentation is available here. And you can select your required version. So be careful about the documentation. If you are using any version, you have to download the same version documentation because there are differences in username passwords, or maybe in there are a lot of differences in different versions. So you have to use the same version documentation. So please keep in mind, if you are using any version, you have to download the same version documentation to install it or to configure it. All the documentation is available here. You can download it and you can deploy your iMaster NCE campus, and then you can configure it as well. All the configuration and deployment guides are available. And for software download, you have to click on the software download, and then you can select the version. All the version available here. I'm not logging in. I think I have to log in it first. So as we can see, all the versions are available now. I can see now multiple versions. These are the non-official version. You can request for these non-official version. The Huawei guys will approve your request, and then you can download it and you can deploy it. If you want to do practice on the how to add the devices, how to use iMaster NCE Campus, so there's a demo cloud. If you are the Huawei partner, so you can apply for the access for the demo cloud. You can practice over there. There's already iMaster deployed and different scenarios are available. So you can practice different scenarios and you can learn iMaster, how iMaster works and how to configure devices in iMaster. But deployment is not available there. For deployment, you have to use your own environment. These are different versions. You can download it. Let me see if installation is still going on. So everything is automatically installed. As we can see, all the required packages, YAS2 will install everything automatically. We don't need to do manual things. It will install everything automatically. So while the installation is running, I want to show something to you. So this is the EasyGet portal. You can download software using this portal. You need to select the if you have to select the enterprise, because we are working for enterprise, then you can select different scenarios, new installation or anything. iMaster NCE Campus, and then you can select your required version and for which scenario you want to download. If you have a Huawei server, you have x86 operating system, and you want to install a physical machine or virtual machine. When you click OK, so it will show you all the packages required. So you don't need to go and click manually. You just click and download, but you need approval. If you click download, it will go to the approval side, and then your request will be sent to the Huawei representative. And once your request is approved, then you can download it. And the second, once your request is approved, you can go for full download. Because I don't have the permission, so when you click on full download, it will open a new window, and you will get ICS Lite link. ICS is the download manager for Huawei. So you can download ICS Lite, and then you can put that link into the ICS Lite. It will automatically download all the files. So ICS Lite is a download manager. You can download your packages using that tool as well. Let me see what is. So now the installation will be completed in a while. The installation is completed. It's rebooting now. So let me show you the network planning. So this is my plan. This is node 1. I have two Ethernet. Ethernet is 0 and 1. So I'll be using 172.168.2.150. For second Ethernet, I'll be using 172.16.3.150. Similarly, these two nodes are already installed to save time, because we don't have much time. So I'll be saving some time. I don't want to reinstall it, the second and third node. So we just install this first node, and then you would install the second node, and then you install the third node. These two nodes are already installed and running with these IPs. So we will set up these IPs for this first node. So let's do it. Now machine is ready. So the default username is root, and the default password is admin 123. Admin _ 123. So we have to set up the new password. We set the password. So now this machine is ready. Now we need to set up IP addresses for both interfaces. So let's do it. So there's in Linux you can use manual commands as well, but Huawei provided a script. You can use that script to automatically set up the IP hostname. All the things can be set up very easily. So let's do it. The script is located. These all steps are already mentioned in the documentation. So if you follow the right documentation, you will see all these steps. Use our local. Sorry. Okay. Voice tools. Maintenance tool. Here, there's a script available, bash set.sh. So there are different options. You can add, modify, and set host name. I want to add IP addresses for this machine. So we have two interfaces. First, I will add for the ETH0. So I have first Ethernet. The IP address is 172.16.2.150. Let me see what is the IP of the first node. So node 1, 172.168.2.153.150. Okay. So we'll send this IP to this node. Subnet is 255.255.255.0. You want to, yes, I want to use a gateway. So 172.16.2.254. So this is my gateway. Okay, I will use it as a default gateway. And you want to configure hostname? Yes. The IP address is 172.16.2.150. And the host name is iMaster 1. So this will set up the ETH0. Now we'll be doing the ETH1 setup, IP address setting as well. So let's do it. Let's run it again. I want to add. This is the ETH1. To clear it, should not be clear. First, 172.16.3.150. So I'm using I'll be using 172.116.3.150 for this interface. 255.255.255.0. Yes, I will use gateway for this 172.16.3.254, and it will be default. You can set hostname for it. If you don't want, you no need hostname, but we will do it. 16.3.150 master-1. So both interfaces will up. Okay, if you see, so ETH0 have 172.16.2.150 and ETH1 have 172.16.3.150. So our IP is up and running. Let's reboot it to see if everything is working. Let me see if there's any question. Can we install iMaster cluster? If there's a question, can we install the iMaster cluster in a vCenter with multiple hosts with HCIE enabled? Will be some issue when moving VMs from host to host real time? No, there will be no issue. It's a VMware feature, so you can use it, no issue. It's not a big issue. You can move your virtual machines using vMotion or HA. You can do anything. Okay, there's a question. So when we are deploying iMaster NCE on Huawei server, which one OS will be installed on that server? Please explain. Okay, there are different types. One is virtual machine. The second one is physical machine. If you are using Huawei server, so you need to use Euler OS, ELUER, something like that. Euler OS is already available, so you can use that for the Huawei OS. If you are using Fusion Compute, then you can use the Euler OS as well. For VMware, we have the SUSE Linux available, so you can use SUSE Linux for the VMware for third-party servers. So we are using, I'm not using, for example, I'm not using Huawei server, so I can use VMware, and I can use the SUSE Linux as well. So there's a question why we are using two networks, because one network is used for internal and cluster communication. The second one is for the devices for northbound and southbound. I will show it to you in the configuration because it will be clear there. You can check that why we are using it. Okay, machine is ready. So let's do the deployment now. Okay, so this I have configured one machine only. So you have to configure 3 machines. So I have already installed 2 machines to save the time. As you can see, yes, as you can see, test iMaster 3 and test iMaster 2. I have already installed these 2 machines and set up the IP addresses as per our documentation, as you can see. So all the 3 nodes are ready now. I have only installed this one and set up the IP. You have to install these 2 machines with your required IP. So I have installed it before the presentation to save some time. So we have now 3 machines available. So now let's do the deployment. Okay, once you download the media, so as we can see, the easy suite for Windows, I have extracted it and I have copied the ESS solution.temp, the solution.zip. So when you run the start.batch, it will automatically create this folder and will open you this easy suite window. So you will see this window. So the default username and password is already mentioned in the documentation. You can use that password. So this will be installed in your laptop, or you can use any VM for this. You can use any VM. So let's do the installation. So first we are doing a new install. So we are not doing any migration or any expansion. We are doing a new installation. So this is the project name. You can assign any project name to this. You have to select iMaster NCE campus. This is the version. We are using this version. Then you have to click on the product. And if you are using a single node, you have to select 5K devices. If you are doing multiple nodes, it will support these much devices. As we can see, this is the cluster scenario. You have to click save. And we are using SUSE operating system. So we will check it. So now we can see ULF and SUSE both are supported. So we are using SUSE and we have to select English. And there are different options, different nodes, multiple clusters. So it depends on the requirement. And here is an option 3 node with LAN and 3 node with LAN and WAN. We will be using LAN only. And these are some features you can select and deselect as per your requirement. And click next. Okay, you have to load the software. I have already loaded. You have to paste the path of the downloaded packages. Then you have to click load. All these packages will be copied automatically. After loading the packages, you have to check the integrity. This is a very important step. If your integrity check is passed, so it means that all the packages are okay. There's no issue with the packages. While it is verifying, let me see if there's any question.
Kashif, can you please also read the question?
Yes,
so that anyone got the question.
I'm going towards the question.
Thank you.
Okay, there's a question. In the event of hardware failure or issues, what is the recommended approach to ensuring high availability and fault tolerance within the VMware setup on the iMaster NCE? Nothing to do with the iMaster NCE. iMaster itself provides you the 3 node cluster. So if one node goes down, for example, you have 3 ESXi hosts. So the recommended way is to keep every VM on one host only. If one host completely down, one host is completely down, so your one VM will be affected only. And then you can use VMware HA as well. Your VM will move to another host as well. So it depends on you. You can use VMware HA with the combination of iMaster NCE HA. VMware also provide HA. VMware also provide you HA, and iMaster NCE also provide you the HA. We have 3 VMs. If you have 1 VM available, it will work, but because the 3 VMs are doing load balancing, so it support more devices. If you have three cluster nodes running, so it will support more devices. Otherwise, there will be no downtime. Okay, there's a question for Dr. Doom. Sir, can we use different hypervisor for the installation? Yes, you can use any hypervisor. We are using the operating system doesn't know which platform is running underneath, so you can use any hypervisor. So the VMware is very popular, so that's why I was using VMware. So you can use KVM, you can use Hyper-V, you can use anything. It should be x86 because our media is based on x86. So you cannot use the maybe VDOM or the power series. You cannot use that. But if the hardware is x86, so you can use any hypervisor which can support x86 platform. So it doesn't matter. Okay, there's a question from Tayyip. Is there any license requirement on cluster configuration? No, there's no requirement. It is included in when you buy the iMaster NCE campus, so you have to select cluster, so it will automatically add all the licenses. So there's no issue. You don't need to worry about it. It will be automatically added. So the verification is completed. Let's go towards the next step. Now this is very important. Let's set the password for the global. The first node IP, what was the first node IP? 2.150, 2.151, 2.152. So we have to add all the IPs here. 150. Dot 151. This is the second node. The third node is 172.168.2.152. These are the IPs for the nodes, and we have to select Karachi, Asia Karachi. And we don't have NTP servers in the test environment, so you can configure it in production. And these are the Ethernet ETH0, ETH1. You can see this is for internal communication, and this is for the service plan network. We can use it for the management. We can use for adding the devices or for the web portal for the configuration. The ETH1 will be used for these. Okay. And these are the load balancing virtual IPs. These IP will be used to switch or to load balance between the nodes. So we have to provide these IPs as well. So I have already, these are the 160, 161, and 162. And these are ETH1. So we'll be using .2, .3 maybe. Let me check. Yes. 172.16.3.161, 172.16.3.162, and 172.16.3.163. Let me check the IP addresses. 160, 160, 161, 162. 60, 161, 162. These IPs are used for load balancing and for switching. Virtual IPs actually moves between the nodes for load balancing and switching the services. So that's why we need some virtual IPs. And these IPs are for the internal cluster configuration. So the cluster will use these IPs. So we have to provide for ETH1 and ETH0 as well. Let me see what IPs we can use. These are for intra-clustering floating IP. 163, 164, 3.163 and 3.164. 172, 16.3.164, 163, 164, 163, and second IP will be 172.16.3.164. And for the second interface, we'll be using 2.163, 172.16.2.163, 172.16.2.164. So these are for intra-cluster communication. So now you can see the northbound addresses 172.16.3.160. This will be used for the iMaster configuration. This is for the controller. You will be accessing the GUI and you will be adding the tenant, the user, the devices, all the things can be managed using this network, using this port. And this is for the device management. This is the southbound. And this is the management login 162. Using 162, there are two portals. One is management, from which you can manage all the iMaster configuration, all the things. And the second one is the iMaster web portal. So now we have to save this. These configurations are saved. You have to take a screenshot of this to access it later. And there are some more configuration. Let me show it to you. These are the password configuration. You have to do these as well. So you have to set the passwords. I will set the passwords. Once you set these passwords, all the default password will be changed. I'm changing the passwords. Mismatch. We have to provide all the passwords. This is for the service plane, and this is for the management plane. Management plane means that you can access the iMaster. You can see the iMaster node status, services, all the things can be managed from the management plane. Service plane is for the device management, for the portal. You can log into the portal, you can create tenants, you can create user, you can add devices. All the configuration can be done from the service plane web administrator. So let me change the password for admin. There are a lot of passwords. Need to change it. Okay, we have to save this. Now basic configuration is done. It has saved successfully. Go toward the next step. Now this is very important. It will check everything here, that all the things are okay, there's no issue. Then you can start the installation. It will check all the things. So warning is not an issue. it can work, because we are using virtual CPU. So maybe there's some, we are not fulfilling the CPU per core requirements, so it's not an issue. Let me check if there's any question. Okay. Okay. Northbound, southbound already I have addressed. And there's a question, what are the minimum requirement? It is already addressed in the presentation. There's a question from Karma. Management plane is just for the monitoring purpose. Management for monitoring and configuration of your iMaster. If you want to take backups, you can see the status of the nodes. You can start and stop services. It is for the management purpose only. You cannot add devices or things, so it will be done from the service web portal. There's a question, how we can reset the password. You can open LSR and then you can reset it, or you can use the Linux normal procedure, but I think it is better to open SR to reset your password. There's a question from Kamran. Service plane is for the configuration purpose. Yes, service plane is for when you log into the service plane. I will show it to you. I have already installed it. If it is working, I will show it to you that what is the difference between management plane and service plane. I will show it to you. So hopefully I answered all the relevant questions. I'm skipping irrelevant questions. There are a lot of irrelevant questions, so I'm skipping that to save the time. Okay, so this is, as we can see, everything will be checked. If there's any issue, it will tell you that you need to fix this first before installation. Otherwise, you cannot start in the installation. So this is a very useful tool, the EasyShoot. It will check everything. If your packages are not corrupted, all the packages are completed. If your CPU, memory, your host, everything is perfect. As we can see, everything is completely passed, only except the CPU. We can see there's a warning only, but warning doesn't matter. It is just for the CPU count or maybe something like that. So it doesn't matter. So we'll go to the next step. So this is the last step. If you are here, all the checks are passed, so there's no issue. You can start the installation. It will start installation. I'm not going to click this because I don't have space. So when you click this, it will start installation and it will complete the installation. Once the installation is successfully completed, 100%, then you can go to the management portal. For example, this is the management portal. Let me see if it is working. I have already installed the cluster. So let me see if it is working. I have a space issue. Maybe it will work or not. Let's see. It's working. As we can see, the node is abnormal. I have deleted one node due to space issue. These were previously 3 nodes, but it shows now it's showing 3 nodes, but 1 node is not there. It is showing that 1 node is down. You can see that 1 node is disconnected. I have deleted due to some space issues. So it's not a big deal. So if your 3rd node is on, it will be showing here. So you can do all the things from here. This is the management portal. So from management portal, you can do service monitoring, middleware monitoring, service statistic, everything, disk monitoring, everything can be done from here. You can start and stop everything. You can do some maintenance, backup and restore, HCIE configuration. All the things can be managed from the management portal. And this one is for the service portal. Let me show it to you. Let's see if it is working or not. It's working. So as we can see, there's a difference between management portal. This is the management portal, and IP will be different for the management portal and for the service portal. From here, you can create tenants, you can create MSPs, you can add devices. All the iMaster configuration can be done from here for device management. For example, you want to add switches, you want to add APs, you want to add any kind of devices which are supported in iMaster, so you will be doing from here. So this is the service portal. So basically, these portal are very important, and I think what else? So I'm not going to click on start because I don't have the space issue, so the other will be down as well. So that's why I'm not. Otherwise, I can do it. I have already showed it to you, so I can do it. Not, but it will. I will get error due to space issue. So now the installation will be started, and it will be 100% successful completed. After this step, there's no issue that your installation will fail. There may be one issue, you don't have space, or maybe your system is restarted due to power failure, or maybe. But after these steps, your installation will be completed successfully, 100%. Let me see if there's any question. My session is over here. So there are no more questions. Elena, my session is over here.
Yes,
I have addressed all the questions, relevant question, irrelevant question I have skipped.
Yes, thank you. I said this from the beginning. Please try to keep your questions relevant. If they are too general or if they are not related to the topic, they will not be addressed because we have limited time. So it's only normal to answer the questions that are relevant. If you want to participate in our activity, I will kindly ask you to post your questions in the forum as well. I will share the link one more time. If I'm able to find your nickname in the community based on the name you have in the chat, I will also consider your questions for the activity, even though you didn't post them in the comments. But if I cannot find your chat name in the forum, I cannot choose you as one of the winners because you need to be a community member, so in order to participate in the activity. Okay, so you can post your questions now in the comments, and also you can answer the following 3 questions for a chance to win 600 Pi coins. You need to answer all 3 questions correctly in order to be eligible for rewards. And Kashif will show you the questions now, but you'll have a few more days to answer them. You don't have to answer right away. Just please make sure that you answer within the allocated time. We already mentioned this in the community. We will announce the winners next week. So probably at the end of next week, we will announce all the winners. And Kashif will tell me his suggestions regarding the participants who had the best questions. I think he's the most qualified to do it. So this is the first question we have. Of course, the questions are based on the content that was presented today. This is a true or false kind of question. Please don't answer the questions here. You need to go to the link that I shared again in the chat and leave a comment with the correct answers in the forum. Okay, so we are just showing the questions now as a preview, but if you want to participate in the activity, you need to go to the support community and leave a comment below the webinar post. No, don't answer here, please. Go to the link I just shared in the chat, and you can leave a comment below that post with the correct answers. You can mention question 1 and then leave the answer, question 2 answer, question 3 answer. Okay, now we are just showing the questions. This is the second question that I will also share in the community. And the third one, Kashif, if you can show it. Okay. So these are the 3 questions. I will also update the webinar post and add them there. And if you want to participate in the activity, you need to go to the activity post and leave a comment below to be eligible for rewards, okay? If you are answering here in the chat, I will not take your answers into consideration for the rewards. You need to go to the link I shared multiple times. It's the link with TechTalk Phase 69 iMaster NCE campus installation, today's topic, and you should leave a comment below this post with the correct answers. So this is how you can participate. And if you don't have an account in the support community, you can register an account now, and then you can participate easily in the activity. Okay, so if there are no more questions left, no, please don't answer here. I said this multiple times. You need to go in the support community. I will share the link one final time. This is the link. You need to click on this link and leave a comment below this post. You need to go at the bottom of the post. You will see what's on your mind. That's basically the comment section. And you need to leave the answers there. So not here in the chat. Thank you all for attending today's session. Thank you, Kashif, for hosting one more time. I welcome everyone to leave your questions in the community if you have any more questions on this topic. And also, I invite you to answer the 3 questions in order to be eligible for some rewards. And if you want to participate in our future tech talks, because we have every month, we try to cover different sort of topics. I will share the subscribe link with you. So here is the subscribe link. We have a dedicated section, Tech Talk live webinar, and you can select all the topics you are interested in. Every time there's a new Tech Talk from that particular topic, you receive an email notification. So if you don't want to miss out on any future webinars, please make sure that you subscribe to this link I just shared. So thank you all. I hope you have a nice day, evening ahead, based on where you are from. And I hope to see you in our future Tech Talks as well. So thank you for participating.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.